I caught the moving map table with both hands just before it slammed into a brass lock. Corridors were shifting around me, stone floors sliding, archways flashing with names in gold. Goldbach Price, Goldbach Time, quarterly theory, SSMT, dealer positioning, gamma levels. Traders rushed down one hallway at a time, certain they had found the answer. And one by one, I watched them vanish into dead ends, missed turns, and doors that opened too early or too late. I dug in my heels, steadied the table, and saw the terrible trick at once. The room was not broken. The room was incomplete. I spun the table toward me and traced the scattered routes. Every corridor offered guidance, yes, but only in fragments. One taught where something mattered, another hinted when it might matter. A third whispered that the whole room changed character depending on a larger cycle. Yet none of them, alone, could carry a traveller all the way through. The pathways only made sense when I imagined them layered together, like transparent maps, stacked one atop another. This grand chamber, for all its gears and lanterns and carved stone, was really a lesson disguised as a maze. I have seen the same trouble in every age of learning. People are handed pieces separately, as if understanding were meant to live in separate boxes. They join one circle to study levels, another to study timing, another to study structure, another to study confirmation, another to study market mechanics. Useful pieces, all of them, but scattered pieces all the same. So I did what I always do when history hides its meaning inside a puzzle. I named the parts. To my left ran the corridor of Goldbach Price, promising location, the places where attention gathers and decisions sharpen. Beyond it pulsed Goldbach Time, not telling me where to stand, but when a move might become important. Farther on waited quarterly theory, a chamber of broader phases and seasonal structure, where the same path could behave differently depending on the larger portion of the cycle. Then came SSMT, a mirrored gallery where one pathway could confirm another or quietly betray it. Past that lay dealer positioning and gamma levels, the hidden pressures and mechanical forces shaping whether movement would stall, pin, resist, or suddenly run. And beyond all of them, at the far end of the hall, I saw the final gate. It was sealed by a clock face still ticking. That gate, I suspected, would not open for tidy theories written in notebooks. It would open only under live conditions, when the room itself was moving and no one had time to pretend certainty. That was the true problem before me, not a lack of information, fragmentation. Traders kept choosing a single corridor and mistaking a piece for the whole. My task was not to invent a new hallway. My task was to build one route through the room that showed how all these ideas worked together inside a single, usable trading model. I stepped first into Goldbach Price. The floor here was marked with luminous levels, bands and lines crossing the stone like coordinates on an ancient chart. When I stood on one, the air hummed. Doors ahead reacted. Some grew brighter, some dimmed. I immediately understood the appeal. Location matters. If you know where pressure is likely to gather, you stop wandering blindly. You begin to ask better questions. Why here? Why not there? Where does reaction become more likely? But when I tested the corridor by itself, the passage still betrayed me. 3 branches opened from the same level. One led to a clean turn, another to a false continuation, another to nothing but a loop that brought me back to where I had started. Price gave me an important clue, but not the whole answer. Knowing where without knowing when or under what conditions was like being told the right page in a book without being told which line to read. So I crossed into Goldbach Time. Immediately, the corridor changed. Pendulums swung in measured intervals. Small windows in the wall lit up, then darkened, then lit again. Here, the room did not care much about place. It cared about timing windows, moments when movement might matter more than usual. A locked panel opened for 2 seconds, then shut. A staircase appeared, then vanished. I laughed because the corridor was almost proud of its own mystery. Time, on its own, can make a traveler feel brilliant for arriving at the right moment and foolish for arriving a minute too soon. Still, timing alone sent me nowhere stable. The corridor offered urgency without destination. It said, "Now matters," but not, "Here is the place and this is the direction." I could feel the lesson forming, but I wanted proof, not poetry. So I carried a tracing sheet from the price corridor into the time corridor and laid one on top of the other across the moving table, a level aligned with a window. A location met a timing pulse, and at once, a narrow passage I had not seen before clicked into place. Not wide, not easy, but stable. For the first time, a route held. I wrote the first rule in my notebook while the stone beneath me stopped shifting. Price without time is incomplete. Time without price is directionless. That was the first true opening in the maze, and it changed everything. Not because one corridor had defeated the others, but because one idea had gained strength by being paired with another. The room was teaching me its language. It did not reward isolated expertise nearly as much as it rewarded confluence. With that first rule secured, I looked toward the next chamber and felt the map room tremble again. The broader doors were beginning to move, which meant the deeper structure of the place was about to reveal itself. Price had shown me location. Time had shown me timing. But I could already sense the next difficulty waiting ahead. A route might still be valid in one phase and useless in another. A mirrored path might agree one day and diverge the next. And somewhere beyond those doors, larger invisible forces were pressing on the map itself. I tightened my grip on the notebook, tucked the glowing route sheet under my arm, and headed for the chamber of quarterly theory. If the maze had seasons, I intended to learn them before the next gate closed. Quarterly theory greeted me with phases. Whole sections of the room brightened while others fell dormant, and I saw why one route could work in one period and fail in the next. In the mirrored gallery of SSMT, two passages seemed to agree until one drifted away by a single degree. I stopped, and that tiny disagreement saved me from a glittering shortcut that collapsed a moment later. Then dealer positioning and gamma levels revealed the hidden mechanics. Pressure gathered behind certain walls. Some zones pinned the floor beneath my boots, while others threatened sudden expansion if touched at the wrong moment. At last, the final gate unlocked. This was the live window where no note could save me. I had to read the room as it moved. So I followed the process the maze had taught me. Identify the level, align the time, check the quarterly phase, confirm with SSMT, read dealer pressure, respect gamma, then act only when the full picture agreed. Tempting side passages flashed, each backed by one clever fragment. I ignored them and waited for confluence. When every corridor finally pointed to the same narrow route, I committed. The central path opened cleanly, and the single-method corridors fell away behind me. That is the lesson. Each idea matters, but none is the whole map alone. Inside the membership, we study Goldbach Price, Goldbach Time, quarterly theory, SSMT, dealer positioning, and gamma levels. As one trading model, then test it live every weekday. The market is open from the New York Open until 11 a.m. New York time, it is $35 a month. Click below and walk the route with me.